Hello YouTube. I really didn't know what else to say, so I'm just gonna start with that, as lame as it is. This is a video of my first computer I built. I think it turned out pretty decent. I'll go through kind of what I put into it. It's about 4 months ago when I first put it together, like the first week of January in 2012. And yeah, so first off, it looked like this. It's a Rosewell Challenger case, and it came with 3 fans. Only one of them was blue. Bought a few extras, Rosewell fans. Really cheap. They're actually pretty quiet, and they look kind of neat. They all light up blue. And later on, I added some more shit. But anyways, Asus motherboard here. It's the M488T-M. Kind of just a cheapo. Had built-in graphics because I couldn't afford a graphics card at the time, so it got the job done. Something to start with, expand on. It's a 970 AMD Phenom 2 Black Edition processor, cooled by a Antec H2O 620. There's 2 fans on it. The back one here is the stock Antec fan. Here's the radiator. And I just added the blue one in there. I don't know if it really hurts or helps. I know it moves less air, but I had to add that so, you know, something to look cool. 8 gigs of G-Skill Ripjaw RAM. Rosewell 500 watt power supply. I got 4 hard drives. They don't even add up to 1 terabyte. I know it's kind of ghetto, but that's what I had from parting out some random computers. I like this case. Everything slides in here with these. You know, you squeeze that and you can slide the drives right out, slide them in. No tools needed. You do need screws for the little 3.5-inch bays, but the other ones, they're all toolless. Really easy to add stuff in there if you have to. Tried to run all the cables real nice, real clean. When I first put it together, it was a disaster. I can't imagine airflow was that great. I got the processor overclocked to 4.2, and when I first tried overclocking with this board, I had problems. It kept kicking it when I'd run Prime 95. It kept kicking it back down to like 0.9 gigahertz, something like that, and you know, it'd run for a little bit, for a couple minutes, and then kick it back down. It would stay down there for about 30 seconds, kick back up to whatever I had it overclocked to, then kick back out, you know, 20-30 seconds later, run there for 20-30 seconds. Couldn't figure out what the hell it was, and I narrowed it down to the MOSFETs. Supposedly I don't know much about this yet, I'm just a new guy here, but they, I guess, supply power to the processor, and I found these little heat sinks that stick on Newegg. They actually helped the problem pretty good, except they didn't completely get rid of it. I was still, it was downclocking still way before the processor was getting warm. So I added the fan here, which is actually from it's a stock fan from the processor. Kind of zip tied it in there, couldn't figure out no other way of mounting it, but works, so I'm just gonna run it. The fans, when I first put them in, they're actually kind of noisy. You can see the holes drilled here. That's what the case had where the fans go, and this picture here on the side. It was actually loud. When you put the fans up next to those holes, it made this loud fan chopping noise, just a typical fan noise, whatever. But I read somewhere cutting them out quiets it down, and sure enough, it certainly did. Then here I also added, set that down for a second, added a window to the case. Instead of just cutting out the fans, or the fan grills, I added this, make it look a little neat. Tried sticking the plexiglass in there with first clear silicone, which doesn't stick to plexiglass or computer cases, and then epoxy, which also doesn't stick to plexiglass or computer cases. I don't know what does. If anyone knows, please let me know. Otherwise, you end up screwing it on there, which I wanted to avoid the screws because obviously a cleaner look is no screws. That's about it, I guess. I really don't know much else. Oh, the Antec Kuhler here. This when I got it right out of the box, it comes with the thermal compound already applied, and I didn't have much luck with that at all. The temps were jumping around, real erratic. As soon as you put a load on it, it would jump up. I mean, it couldn't even keep up on the screen how fast it jump up 15 degrees. And you stop the Prime 95 stress test, and drop down instant, another 15 degrees down. Just seemed a little erratic, and I was getting higher temperatures than what everybody else was online from what I was reading. So I got what was it? Oh shit, I cannot remember the name. Oh, Arctic Silver. How can I remember that name? Arctic Silver thermal compound, and it is. Alright, sorry about that. I didn't realize my memory card was going to be full there. Something you should probably really check before you make a video to put on YouTube. I was saying I got that Arctic Silver thermal compound, and I got a lot more stable temps out of that now. A few degrees cooler actually once it's under a load, and you can watch it steadily climb, and when you stop the load, just like you'd expect, it cools it down. It doesn't just drop this crazy number for whatever reason. I don't know why it was doing that. Then also I replaced the thermal compound on the north and south bridge heat sinks, that little tiny thing there. I can't believe they call that a heat sink, but apparently they do. And I could only assume that helped a little bit, I guess. I didn't really notice much of a drop in board temps. I don't exactly know where the sensors are in this one. So, that being said, I don't know if there's much else. I know I have the bottom here where the vent is. I cut that out for the power supply fan also, just to let some good airflow through this case. It actually works pretty good. I think it turned out pretty decent for my first build. I'm just a diesel mechanic slash truck driver, and somehow got into this nice new hobby, whatever. So next will be a graphics card, so I can actually play games on a decent setting instead of everything on the lowest possible settings to keep it smooth. Any suggestions for that would be great. What cards are good, whatever. Like I said, it's a AMD processor. I don't know if it matters if something works best with them or not. Any suggestions or comments, good or bad, what I did wrong, let me know. Thanks for watching.